Hi, I'm Barbara.
Hi, I'm Andy.
In this video, we're going to show you how easy it is to get and store data from a local device in a private cloud and how to control access to that data. You are looking at a simple personal note app that Andy built using our SDK. The title field is where we will enter the name of our personal note. The content section is where we will add our note description, and we have two buttons, Save to save my note and Open to open an existing note. Our personal note app has the following requirements. Data must be stored locally on the device, data must be encrypted for secure storage, and only the authenticated user can see the data. Let's see how easy it is to code this. I'm now in my Android Studio project with my personal note app. For this part of my app, I'm using the mass storage interface. The first thing Andy needs to do is to instantiate mass storage with the Mass Secure Local Storage interface. Andy now has imported the storage classes. Make sure the classes are imported. Now let's start with the Save button. For our Save interface, we need to provide the key, which is the title text field in our app. And the value, which is the content text field. Next, we need to provide the segment where we will store the data. In our scenario, we said that only the authenticated user for our Note app can see the data. To configure this, we simply set a segment parameter. As you can see, our parameter is set to mass user, mass application. Only I will be able to access content in my personal Note app. There is also a callback parameter, but we'll talk about that later. For the Open button, we use the Find by Key interface, where the title field is the key. And we will use the same segment parameter, mass user, mass application, we used in the Save button. That's it. Now we have our two buttons configured to save and get data from the user application storage segment. Next, let's look at how we handle basic storage operations for our Save and Open buttons. The mass storage interface uses a background thread to handle storage operations. To provide results back to the UI, you need to communicate with the UI thread. There are two options. To empty the content for our Save button, we will use the Run on UI thread interface. To display the note content for the Open button, we will override the mass callback getHandler interface. Now let's run the app and test the interaction. I'll type in 10th anniversary for the title of my note. And for the content, I'll type buy cake and flowers. When I click the Save button, the personal note is encrypted and securely saved on the device. When I click the Open button, the data is decrypted and displays in the content area. Next, let's look at the interface for the local storage. Our personal note app uses the interface Mass Secure Local Storage, so the data is available when the app is offline. Using this class, the mobile SDK handles all of the encryption and decryption, so you don't need to think about it. However, if my app did not need encryption, I can simply pass null as the encryption provider to the constructor of Mass Secure Local Storage. let's expand our Note app and change some requirements. What if I want to access my personal notes from another device? Let's say from my iOS tablet. This is a good scenario to use the private cloud storage, where all my devices can access the same data. To switch to private cloud storage, I simply change the storage class from Mass Secure Local Storage to Mass Secure Storage. Very easy. Next, let's suppose I want my 10th anniversary content, which is stored on my Note app, to be available in my Calendar app so I can get a reminder. To make data available for the same user in other apps, I simply change the storage segment to User. To summarize, for private cloud storage, communication between the device and the server is secure. To implement private cloud, use the class Mass Secure Storage. For local encrypted storage, use the class Mass Secure Local Storage. However, if your implementation doesn't require encryption, you can easily disable it. Controlling access to data is easy using the following segment parameters. For the mass user, who sees the data? Only the user who saves the data. Is data available from other apps? Yes. And our example is user preferences that are relevant to a set of apps, for example, preferred language. For mass application, who sees the data? Everyone using the app. Is data available from other apps? No, just within the app. And our example is a conference app with the event description as the data. For mass user, mass application, who sees the data? Only the user who saves the data. Is data available from other apps? No, just within the app. And our example is a personal note app, just like the one we used in our example. Well, we hope you feel confident now to start working with mass storage. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.